Hey. Thank you to those of you who tuned in an hour ago with myself and Miss Yolanda Ross. Definitely a great conversation. So if you missed the conversation between me and Miss Yolanda Ross, I suggest you go back to the IGTV and tune in and watch, because it was definitely a great conversation. You know, I think over 100 of you guys tuned in, you watched, and you supported, and I appreciate all of you. Right now, we're about to have somebody who's definitely been a role model in my life. For those of you who don't know, like, you get your support and you get your advice from whoever, you know what I'm saying, in regards to the business, in regards to building your brand. And this young man, he was literally like telling it to me straight, you know, and letting me know all the building blocks in getting myself together and building my empire. And I humbly appreciate this guy. So we're gonna bring on my guy, music consultant, Mr. Joshua Walker. My man.
Hey!
How you doing, brother?
Courtney, what's going on, baby?
I know, long time no see, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Lots of things have changed since we last spoke, but
I
yeah.
know. Like, we're gonna get into it.
Yes. How you been, man?
I'm doing good, brother. Like, this, you know, this quarantine has definitely been a bit of a lot, but I felt like in the stillness of the quarantine is where I learned to listen to God's voice and kind of just like let things be as they are. So it's been an amazing time. What about yourself? First of all,
that's beautiful.
I'm gonna start here.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. On the engagement and on your upcoming baby boy.
Yeah.
First of all, I know Stace is in there somewhere. How you doing, Stace? I love y'all. How are you feeling? How are both of you guys feeling right now?
Excited. I can't even think of words to just express how happy I am. I always tell Stace, I've been telling this story over and over. I'm like, Stace, I love you to death and everything, but when I heard the news that we having a baby boy, the first time I seen him on the sonogram was like, wow, best moment of my life ever, right. Hands down. Sorry, Stace, you second place. But like, it's just been really cool, man. Just being able to get engaged and step into this next stage of life, especially with my best friend. My fiance now. I'm just super excited. I'm happy where I'm at in life, man. I couldn't ask for a better life.
I love the empire you guys have built. You know, and a lot of people, it's hard to achieve that, you know, because, you know, sometimes you find yourself in senseless competition with each other for no reason. When in reality, you guys can all win. So I love the fact that you guys are so you guys are such bosses together. You guys complement each other so well.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, it's for a little bit. Tell us how you guys how this even happened? How did this miracle happen?
How does that, like, how we got together?
Yes, it's Stosh, right? How did that how did that come to be?
So first, I'm gonna say straight up, Stosh, that's her name. I didn't say that. I didn't come up with that at all. So if you think it's corny, that was 100% her. If you like it though, then you can give me the credit for that. All right, cool. Yeah, I created it. But how we got together? Actually, 5 years ago, we met. Thanksgiving, almost 5 years ago. On Thanksgiving Day, I was having a Thanksgiving give back event. We was doing giving back like food, clothes, and providing entertainment for the community. She wanted to come through and donate and everything. You know, it was funny. This is a long story, but I'm gonna give you the short version. The first thing she ever said to me was, "Can my boyfriend perform at your event?" So she had a whole boyfriend, but you know, she was still feeling the boy. And then I actually was in a different relationship too. So we was both with two separate people when we initially met. But we were both at like the ending stages of our past relationships, and then she hit me up maybe 4 months later, February 12th, our anniversary date, And she was just thirsty. She was crazy thirsty. And she was like, yo, Josh, man, you're so inspirational. I love what you're doing. How can I get involved? Long story short, she was thirsty, and I was like, all right, chill. But from there, we just became friends, and like we just kept building on that friendship. We became best of friends, and since then, then the relationship just kept building, and here we are. Here we are engaged, and now we have a baby now.
Yeah. I know he probably was the chaser. I know he was probably like in the DMs, like, what's going on? What's going on? But let me tell you something. I am so proud of the empire you guys are building. I wish the both of you guys the best.
Yes.
But we're definitely here just to celebrate all your accomplishments. You know, I know that you've worked your ass off to get to this place in your life. And for those of you who do not know, tell them a little bit about who Josh Walker is and what AMG is.
Okay, will do. So Josh Walker, first I'll just explain who I am. I'm a down-to-earth, cool person. You get the same energy. You was on my live earlier, like I was giving the same energy, like I'm the same person no matter what. I'm a really cool dude, so hey, if you want to say hi, just say what up. So that's who I am. I was born and raised in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Couldn't rap, sing, dance, none of that. So what I had to do to be able to still chase the passion I had for music and helping people and mixing business in with it, I became an artist consultant. And from there, it's a long story to exactly where I'm at right now with, you know, trials and tribulations, the ups and downs, but who doesn't have those? But right now, I do artist consulting and artist coaching, and I'm doing it just to, I work with artists and I help them create a path that they need, create the path that they need to be on to be able to achieve whatever goals and that they want to achieve in life. And I do it through a very holistic way because I'm really big on everything connects, right? So if you're not doing what you have to do in your personal life, that's going to directly affect what you're doing in your business life. So I like to tackle things holistically and help people build that foundation. So that's a little bit about what I do and what AMG does.
So I know that you, before you even started AMG, you were just like out in the community, like just kind of giving back and being a part, but you always had a heart for artistry. Was that something that you grew up wanting to be a part of, or did it kind of find you?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I would say that it was a little bit of both. So I never wanted to be an artist or a producer or be on that, like, the creation side when it comes to music. But I always had, I loved it because music is one thing. Music is a universal language, right? It's like no matter who you are, no matter what color your skin, it's like something that can connect with you in just a spiritual way. Like you don't even have to know literally the lyrics of a song. It could be in a different language, but if you vibe with it, you vibe with it. And that, I think music is the one thing in this world that can do that to people. So I've always had a passion for music. But in regards to it just finding me, I would say I kind of just fell into the realm of getting, like, helping other artists and becoming an artist consultant is because I really just love helping others. I really love helping others and seeing them succeed. And I'm always like, I'm a real logical thinking person. So I usually take the emotion out of stuff and just see things black and white. So I'm really good at giving advice that's like unbiased. So that love and passion for music mixed with, all right, I just want to help people get to where they need to go. That's where it kind of mixed, and that's why I got into the field itself.
Yeah. So you started AMG with the passion of just wanting to help people, but we know that just starting a business isn't easy. And I'm pretty sure that's where the ups and downs kind of played in part. So for you, how was that journey wanting to start your own business? I'm just from one business person to the other. I know just how insane it can be. I shared that with you in our meeting. So, like, how was that for you? Let's kind of like say, you know what? I want to start something. I wanted this to be a legit business. Now I got to go for it. What did you do?
Oh man, so it's an understatement saying like, yo, it's a hard thing to do to start your own business. It's an understatement just saying it's hard just to have that confidence in yourself to be able to step out of your comfort zone and start your own business, right? So I commend you on doing that, and I commend any of my entrepreneurs. I know I see a few of my entrepreneurs and artists that that are business owners themselves. So I commend each and every person because it's not easy at all. But for me, it was more so, right? So let's get into a little storytelling, right? So I was in high school, graduated high school, went to college. I went to Brooklyn College at first because my GPA was absolute trash coming out of high school. I couldn't go to any school I wanted to get into. So I went to Brooklyn College, worked my behind off, and I really lit a fire under myself and really achieved a lot in school. So I got a 4.0. I was in a bunch of different classes so I can have the grades. I transferred to Hofstra University, went there for a year, and then came back to Brooklyn College. But all that to say, I was you would say I was doing really good in school at that point in time, but I really didn't see the impact that it was truly having on my life and the other people that I was beginning to reach out and impact. So right when I was in those stages, let's say my junior year of college, I started managing an artist. I started managing an artist. We started doing events. We started doing shows. We started giving back to schools. We started doing community events. So I seen outside of school, it was just so impactful what I was doing. I was like, why am I in school writing papers and stuff? I don't want to be here. So it kind of, just to circle that all back to answering your question, it kind of just put me in a space where it's like, this is what I want to do. This is what I love. And this is the only path for me. I don't see myself working a 9 to 5. I had a job when I was 19, and that was the last time I had a job. And that's not to brag at all, but it's like it just wasn't for me. I didn't feel any fulfillment. So business actually, it had its ups and downs as you move through actually implementing different ideas and whatnot. But at the beginning, it was like this is just, it was meant for me. This was meant for me to be up, go to sleep with thoughts on my mind, wake up and get back to work and just work. So it kind of came naturally, I would say, when it came to starting my business.
And then you started. So then you started doing this AMG consulting business. And for you, from then until now, what's been some of your pros and your cons in doing something such as this?
Pros and cons. Pros would be, I would definitely say the freedom. That's one of the first thing that comes to mind. The freedom, and even on the flip side of that, having that freedom means that you have to work twice as hard because you don't have things dictated to you. Like, hey, come into work for this set amount of hours and you do X, Y, and Z. You have to create your own plan. You have to come up with your marketing, your strategies. You have to come up with how you promote yourself, your branding, a million different things. So the pros would definitely be the freedom, being able to challenge myself every single day to get up and get to work. Like, for example, I get up every single day at 4 o'clock. So I've been up since 4 in the morning. But I still got to keep this energy, and I wanted to do this with you because it's like, I can see the benefit of like, all right, this, the information I give to you throughout this this whole conversation could be beneficial to somebody out there. So just the pros of just being able to pick and choose whatever opportunities that you want to come your way. The cons would be, dang, I don't even know what cons would be. Yeah, nothing really comes to mind when it's cons because I love it, man. And it's
when you love what you what you do, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, no matter, every day is gonna be a good day, even when it's a bad day. It's gonna be a good day. So I definitely get that. But I also know that dealing with people can be very, very hard. You know, and especially artists, right? Because some artists, in their mind, they're already like, I'm here. Even though you made a song in the basement yesterday, in their mind,
come on, don't kill them. Don't get on them. Don't get on them.
Let me see. One thing I love about you is your transparency, and that's what I got out of the meeting when we had. Like, listen, this is A, B, C, D. It is what it is, and this is how you get here. These are the building blocks. But I also know that some people don't want those building blocks. And you said something in your last live that artists aren't misinformed. They just don't want to listen to the information that's given. Can you elaborate a little bit more about that?
Yes, sir. Yes, yo. I love. You're so good. Let me take a step back to say you're really good at what you do. Like, listen to this man. Everybody watching, he did his research. He's killing it. All right. So I just wanted to say that. But yeah, artists aren't misinformed. Just artists don't want to take the baby steps, right? And especially this is really big when you're working with artists that already have some skin in the game, right? They released maybe a few albums or EPs or singles. They did their shows maybe a few years back, and it's like now they're at a stage where they was really inconsistent over these past few years, and now you got to tell them straight up, like, you got to start over, because it's not about what you did. It's like, yo, what have you done for me lately? What have you done lately? Because if I can't see, like, strategically you've been moving and growing within the past 6 months or the past year, then it's like you can't use that stuff from the past to push yourself right now. You have to be doing it now. So the misinformed thing is like a lot of artists know this. This isn't everything that I say. I tell people all the time. I think I even told you in our meeting, like, yo, everything that I tell you, you could find on the internet, right?
Right.
What I do, the reason I bring value to people when I do sit down and coach them or consult with them is because I do the research. I make sure I know all of this stuff I gathered. I research things every single day. So I'm always growing, and now I can take that information, make it into something simple and easy to understand, and say, hey, these are the steps that you need to take. If you're not willing to take step A to D, then you can't do step E. Like nothing starts in the middle. You have to start at the beginning, and you have to start the right way and build your career on that foundation. Because if you don't have that foundation, then what are you really doing? So yeah, that's what, when it comes to being misinformed, is like, you know what you have to do. You just got to take a step back, take the ego out of it, and do it. That's it.
We talk a lot about misinformation. Can you tell us 5 components of a real informed artist? What does that look like?
5 components of an informed artist? Yes. Easy. Because I thought about this. It's funny because I thought about this earlier today. So I got 4 at least. All right. Okay. So I feel like these are the pillars of creating a successful relationship. And let me know if I'm answering this correctly, right? So I say relationship, I mean career. So a successful career, what goes into it, 1 is putting out content. That's easy. Everybody knows you can't have a music career if you're not putting out consistent content. So whether that's music, videos, Instagram lives, streams, whatever it is, you have to be putting content out. So you have to put content out. Next is you have to perform. I know right now it's really sticky with COVID and everything, but you have to transition the performances that you was doing in person to doing them online now. You have to still search for opportunities, open mics, curated events, just like you would have had to do 6-7 months ago, right? So performing is next. Next is you have to get covered by media. Media is really big because just like platforms like this, it's easy and it's cool to say like, yo, I'm really dope at what I do. But for somebody else to come out of, for somebody else to see you as that person and really vouch for you, like, yo, this person is really dope. That's what you need as an artist. Next is networking. You have to build relationships. You have to build relationship. You know, nothing, you can't do anything in this world on your own, period. So you have to be able to build these relationships. And let me think, the 5th one is really going to come from the top. So relationships, performing, networking, putting out content. And the last thing I would say is researching. You have to understand your business. I threw up a post a few days ago, and it just said like music business. It's music business. It goes together. Like the music is cool and you can have amazing music, but if you don't spend any time marketing that music, or you don't have a promotional plan, or you don't even know how the industry works, that's 1, the easiest way you can get taken advantage of in any industry. And 2, you're not going to be able to really get the most out of your career if you're not really researching and understanding the different changes that's happening within your career field. So those would be my 5. If you know this stuff, you pretty much good to go.
That was good. That was really, really good, 5. And that last one was really, like, doing your research. A
Yeah.
lot of people, especially kind of, when you say doing research and knowing
Mm-hmm.
that people before you were doing this too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And not even
Mm-hmm.
someone before you, but people right now are doing what you're
Exactly.
doing. So what makes
Yep.
you any different? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
The the five components you use for artists, how do you
Mm-hmm.
use that for yourself? Because you pour into so many people. You
Mm-hmm.
do. I
Yeah.
gotta give you that. And not just rappers and
Thank
singers,
you.
but like people who play instruments. I know you have that the jazz artist that you were promoting that you did a consult
Yeah.
with, and you do so
Yeah.
many. So
Actually, super dope.
how do you use those components for yourself?
You asking the fire questions, man. Like these are, questions are good when you haven't heard them before, because
Mm.
you do a bunch of
Yes.
interviews. It's like, oh yeah,
They all sound the
I can answer that.
same. Yes.
You making me think, like you making me work. I've been up for 18 hours. Nah, it's like, um, nah, that's a great question. I would say everything that how I implement them is
Mm-hmm.
every single thing that I do or that I tell somebody to do, I do myself.
Mm.
Obviously I can't do the all right, you gotta make good songs because I'm not a music creator. But when it comes to the basics, the foundation, I was just speaking to my fiance Stace about it. She was like, you really live the life that you tell other people. I've never told anybody, and I really would put this on my life, like, yo, do this, and I'm not willing to do it. I just don't feel
Mm-hmm.
like that makes sense. That doesn't make sense as a business person. That doesn't make sense as a consultant. Doesn't make sense as a good person. Like, why are you telling somebody to do something that you truly don't believe in? So
Leading
when it
by
comes to,
example.
yeah, you have to lead by example. So when it comes to, all right, you have to take a step back and start over. I can easily tell people that I've been doing consulting since I was 19, 20. I'm 27 now, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I transitioned into doing nonprofit work for a good 4 or 5 years. And when I
Right.
got back into consulting, I didn't just go off of like, nah, man, I was charging $200 5 years ago, so you need to pay X, Y. Nah, it's like, nah, I'm starting over. So I did,
Right.
I think, 20 consults for free. Yo,
Right.
I got information. If you're doing X, Y, and Z, you fit my target market, I'll do it for free. I started over. So it's like taking a step back and taking your ego out of it.
Right.
Researching. Every day goes to researching. I dedicate some time to researching every single day. Learning, reading, waking up, having good sleeping patterns, eating right, working out. Everything that I tell somebody else to do,
You
I can
do.
show you my schedule, and it breaks down everything that I'm telling other people to do. And I do it
Mm-hmm.
every single day. So I feel like it's really, really important for you to really live any type of advice, especially if you're somebody in the consulting field. Make sure that
Yeah.
they're living it and they're not just talking but not and talking but not walking the walk.
Yeah. I love that, but I love the fact that one thing you forgot to mention, which I
Oh,
think is really important, is it's okay to take a break, and that's one
yeah,
thing that I noticed that you did,
100%.
because you will easily burn yourself out in this business if you think you can just run like a motor. You have to be
Yeah,
willing
I
to
agree.
break, and one thing you did, and I want you to elaborate on why. Is you
Of
took a
course.
small break during this quarantine time. I know for a little bit you was off the radar, and then you came back. What
Yeah.
inspired you to do that? Why did you feel like it was necessary?
Mental health. Mental health is so necessary. And I love that you bring that question up, right? So I'm going to relate that directly to my business model, my
Mm-hmm.
consultant strategy, right? With everybody I work with, I say, we're not touching the music.
Right.
You can work with me. Like I have coaching contracts right now, right? For 12, let's say
Mm-hmm.
12 or 24 weeks. So let's say a 12-week
Right.
program. We're not touching the music for the first 4 weeks, period.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to jump straight into music, go to somebody else. I have no problem with, I know this guy, he does it. He doesn't worry about any of the personal stuff. Go to him and he'll do what he has to do, right? But for
Right.
me, you have to start at the personal level. You
Right.
have to start at the mindset. You have to start when it comes to physical health, spiritual health, mental health. You have to
Building
give
the
yourself
foundation.
foundation. Yes, your foundation in your personal life. So
Yeah.
once you have that set, now all of that transitions into everything you do business and career wise. So to
Mm-hmm.
answer your question of like how I took a step back is like I was in a mental space. COVID was happening, right? Then everything with Black Lives Matter was happening. The riots was going on, and I just was in a space where it's like, yo, I really don't feel like what I'm doing when it comes to consulting work and stuff like that is really important in this space and time, right? So I had to take a step back, because if I was continuously forcing myself to just let's throw content, I don't care what's going on. I don't care how I'm feeling. I don't care that I'm waking up sad because of everything that's going on in the world. Let's just keep going. I'm going to burn myself out. And it's like, I don't feel like you need to push yourself to do anything that you don't feel comfortable with putting out. So if you're in that mental space, it doesn't hurt you to take a step back and regenerate, right?
Yeah.
It actually helps you, because now when you come back, you could come back better and stronger than ever, rather than just forcing yourself to put out mediocre content because your whole soul and your mind wasn't really into it because it was in other places. It's kind of like when you go to sleep at night. I'm not about the, oh, nah, man, I don't sleep. I sleep when I die. I'm not with it. It's like, you do you, but I'm not with it, because it's like,
I want to sleep right now. Like, I need it now.
Yo, I'm going to sleep at 10 o'clock. The second we're done with this, 10 o'clock is my bedtime. I'm doing this for you, and then I'm out. So I'm telling people, like, it's like sleep. When you go to sleep, it's like you're rejuvenating yourself. You're getting yourself ready for the next day. And now, because you got that 6-8 hours of sleep, you're productive. But if you're running on 2 hours, it's like you tired. You can't put the energy you need to into writing lyrics or putting out music or recording, and you're really hurting yourself in the long run. So
it's true. And you lose your creativity. You know what I'm saying? I know one of the things that similar to you. So I was telling this story before. I had season 3 coming out. It was going to be our biggest season ever. We had studio audience. We had bigger space. And then everything was aligning the way I wanted it to, right? And then COVID happened. And they was like, nope, it's shut down. And I went into like a sunk. Like, I was depressed and I was upset. And I kept saying, but this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Why is this not happening? Right? Yeah. And it was in that stillness where I found my recreativity. I recreated Courtney's Corner. You know, and I felt like, you know, in those times, you find out who you are, right? You take those masks off that you're putting in front of everybody, and you realize at the end of the day, you need to be doing this for you. And whatever comes outside of that is a bonus, is a plus. You understand what I'm saying? So like,
yes.
So when I came back and I said, you know what? This space right here is perfectly fine, because this is how I started. Simplicity. There's nothing wrong with simplicity. And for me, I think simplicity, it provides intimacy. You know what I'm saying? So like, I love the fact that you provide intimacy. You provide opportunity for that one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's you and 20,000 people. You gave yourself time to recreate and rebrand AMG. So when you came back, you had all this fire. You got all this fire to talk about right now, because now you spent that time working on yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And now you're here and you're like this. I repost it. I'm like, yo, we all need it. We all need it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Who inspires you, Josh? Like, you do so much, but who do you look up to?
Who do I look up to? I gotta say Stacy. Yeah. She never she like sitting right there. She can hear me. She never thinks, she like, oh my God, you're so good at this and that. I don't think I can bring extra value to you. How do I do that? And I'm like, nah, you inspire me every single day. So I would say she's at the top of the list of inspiring me, just because it's like, she's my partner in crime, right? She's the person I spend the most time around. And when she's making moves in her career, in her field, and she's doing things, even the smallest things, like I keep bringing it back to personal foundation, right? So even if it's the smallest things, like eating healthy or choosing not to eat this unhealthy snack and choosing this healthy snack, just the one time, I was like, oh, I like that. Because you did that, now I'm going to take that and I'm going to use that same energy to hold myself accountable the next time I'm in a situation like that. I learn from everything, and I'm very observant when it comes to those around me and how they, I guess you say, how they do what they do, right? And really just seeing if they're like on the same page as me, like are they talking the talk or are they actually walking it, right? So I would say stay outside of that if you want to go into like celebrities and stuff. Jay's my man, Jay-Z. But as of lately, I've been really, really deep into just researching and learning from Kobe Bryant. Kobe. Like that's my guy. Like his mindset. I would recommend the Mamba Mentality book to anybody watching this live or anybody that watches the replay. Mamba Mentality. I'm reading it for my I think my third time right now. Watching video interviews of him later in life, and then also him early on in life, and it's so cool to see that he had the same exact mentality, the same exact like killer mentality. Like I need to grow every single day. And one thing I just wanted to share from a recent video I just seen was like the mentality of every single day counts. Every moment counts. And that's what separates somebody that just does okay at what they do to those that are absolutely great and are legendary at what they do. Is that Tuesday, right? That Tuesday at 4 a.m. and you just think like that voice in your mind is telling you, this day doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt for me to take one day off. That is just a habit that a lot of people give into, right? And that's one of the things I would talk about in my coaching is like understand what habits that you have and try to break them and get yourself into that mindset of like that Tuesday matters. That 5 minutes of consistency, if you want to stay 30 minutes, if you want to spend 30 minutes on doing something and it's 25 minutes is up and the 5 minutes is left, you're like, I did 25 minutes, I'm okay. No, that 5 minutes matters because everything you do directly connects with something else that you do in life. So it's just, and it's like these are the mentality. That's the mentality I'm really at right now, and I'm just putting my all into every single thing I'm doing, man. Like, real talk.
That was good. That hit me because that's so true. Like breaking habits. It can be extremely toxic if you don't realize that you have these bad habits. So like breaking them is very important, especially in these times. You know what I mean? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what do you see yourself doing?
In 5 years, I'm definitely gonna have my book out. I'm actually planning on launching. Oh, you're the first person to actually hear this. It's crazy.
Right here?
I'm actually right here. Courtney's Corner. Official. Let me just tell you, I'm gonna break it down. I'm planning on actually offering classes. So a lot of the stuff that I talk to my one-on-one clients about in coaching sessions or consults, I'm putting together a whole course. And I'm going to have a course version of different lessons, mainly focusing on the foundational aspects. And then I'm also going to have a class version where I'm actually teaching a class. So, like, the same energy, me all hype and just mad, corny, all that. Like, this is what I want to do is be able to really, like, connect with people like we're doing right now, one-on-one, intimate. Like, I'm not looking to have 600 people in one class. I'm looking to have the 10 to 20 people in a class. We're going to touch on this topic. We're going to kill it. We're going to knock it out. We'll make sure you have all the information and knowledge that you need when it comes to this topic. Then we're going to go into the next topic, and we're going to take it one step at a time. So in the next 5 years, definitely want the book. I definitely want the class to be bigger, more expanded. Those would be my main two things. I don't have, like, I'm not a person that has, like, 20 things on the list. It's like, yo, I'll focus. I'm going to knock this out. I'm going to knock that out. And I'll keep you posted as time goes on.
Man, that's amazing. What message do you have for watching or will watch later who want to do what you do? What words of inspiration do you have for them?
That want to get into consulting?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. Want to get into consulting. All right. I would say be you. Do you, right? Consulting, and this is with every business, right? Like, and I think we said it earlier today or earlier on the live already.
Uh-huh.
It's so many people doing exactly what you do, like being a host, a person in media. There's a million people doing what you do, right? But you're different. You're unique because you are you. I'm unique because I'm me. Like, no matter what, there's nobody on this planet that can do what you do. Period.
Right.
Nobody on this planet that can do what you do. There's nobody on this planet that can do what I do. And that's not being cocky in any way. It's like we all have different pros and cons to everything that we do. So it's like, just do you. Be the best version of yourself. And as a consultant, you take your lifestyle and you pretty much just try to tell other people, hey, this is what I do. It works for me. Maybe if you try it this way, it might work for you too. So do you and be able to put that same energy out into the atmosphere.
Josh,
and don't try to trick people.
Yo, that's the truth. Don't try to scam people.
Don't try to scam people. That's corny.
Yeah.
That's I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. I'm sorry, but it's like that's the most corniest thing in the world. It's so many people out there that's like, hey, you want to get 1,000 followers by next week? Come with me. That's stop it, because it's like that's the stuff that puts these. That's why a lot of artists are misinformed, or they have the perception of being misinformed because of all this information coming out. Like, let's get you rich quick. Let's get you 1 million followers by the end of this year. Let's do all this thing. Let's forget the foundation stuff and let's only focus on the pretty stuff, the shiny stuff. That's super corny. And it's like, that's a way that you just can make easy money off of tricking people that are vulnerable. And it's like that. I think that's just a super corny way to do anything. That's what consulting, business, whatever you do, make sure that you're not putting out trash and just trying to make the quick buck. I think that's super corny. So be you and don't be a cornball.
So, now that's everything. Yeah. That is everything right there. If I could definitely me still.
Oh, you glitching. I see you like this.
Hold on.
I can hear you.
Sorry,
all right, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, good. That's definitely good stuff. And if I can say anything to you guys who are watching or who will watch later, there is no easy way out. There is no shortcuts, guys. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to always be the student. You have to be willing to put in a long day's work. And that means every day consistently showing up, consistently giving 110% of yourself. And one thing that I've learned in doing this business is knowing your why. Because finding out your why is going to take you further than anything else. The days where you're like, you know what, this ain't it. I don't have no followers. People are not liking. People are not sharing. I don't want to do this no more. But if you know your reasons why you are sent and your purpose is sent to do this, nothing is ever going to make you want to give up. You know what I'm saying? Even on your hard days. So I definitely wish I can share that with you guys. Josh, I thank you so much for taking time out. I know I interfered in your bedtime, but I love you so much, bro, for coming on the show and just dropping some gems that you always do. Guys, please go and follow my bro, AMG_CEO. Follow him. Follow everything that he's about right now. Please, if you want to get your consult on, do it with this young man right here. Do it with him right here. I promise you, you won't regret it. Guys, I thank you for watching. I know we had 2 shows today, but I thank you guys for being loyal and faithful and true to Courtney's Corner. We are back, guess what? Tomorrow with another new episode of One-on-One with Courtney Starks with Alexis Hollins. I love you guys. Y'all have a good night. Stay cool.
Make it happen, people.